I like it both ways. Johnny's world is inside out. His daddy thinks he's insane. Goes out on the town, flashes around, loses his mind deranged. Couples walk by, he watches them all. To him, they're all the same. I like it both ways. 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 When Johnny's with Julie, he tells her she's his girl. He says, I love you always. She's got the love he'd find within his schizophrenic mind, because he likes it both ways. One day it's a rose, another day a thorn. He just can't make the choice. The right one seems so hard to find. He can't make up his mind between a high or low pitched voice. I like it both ways. 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 Johnny is a guy who can't make up his mind. He says, I like it both ways. Johnny's world is inside out. His daddy thinks he's insane. 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 Insane.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.
Underneath the sun, it blazes, we can hide. A twisted laugh echoes through the empty sky. Chains clink, rattle in the cellar warm. My doctor schemes his plans, a desert storm. Hunchback servant lurking in the dark. Whip cracks the silence, leaving marks so stark. Insane thoughts brewing in the night so deep. One wailing, crying, help before they horror, never seen the light. Locked and bound in madness, terror's grip so tight. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. The sound is creeping, covering escape routes. Moonlight sharp as knives, shadows cut hearts out. Mirages of salvation dancing through our minds. But the doctor's games no end, no time. Hold those footsteps heavy, echoing despair. The oil lamp flickers, warning us beware. For the night is cursed, and so is my soul. Break these chains, I beg, let me be whole. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Lost inside this horror, never seen the light. Locked and bound in madness, terror's grip so tight. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Lost inside this horror, never seen the light. Locked and bound in madness, terror's grip so tight. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Lost inside this horror, never seen the light. Locked and bound in madness, terror's grip so tight. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night. Help me, I'm possessed by the desert night.
She says the oil lamp flickers, but to me it sounds like the oil light flickers. You know, like on your car when something's really wrong.
Oh yeah, I think the lead singer of Electra Manuel is foreign and only sings phonetically, so I don't always know if she knows what she's actually singing, which is I think part of the beauty of it.
Yeah, it adds to their sound, definitely.
Yeah. Hey, happy early Halloween.
Oh, same to you,
Yeah.
Sam Panico.
Yeah.
You know, where's the right overlay? There we go.
Oh,
Brand new TVs for this episode.
I love
This-
them.
35th episode this season, or 34th,
Wow.
and like our 196th overall. or something.
Wow.
I
That's
know,
crazy.
right? It's a big idea to get used to.
It is. We've been doing this a while. Tonight was Halloween in Monongahela. And we had at least 150 kids. I ran out of candy. I actually went and I broke into my own Jolly Ranchers, poured all those out, and then we grabbed granola bars and Fig Newton bars, and those all went too. So
granola bars went.
everything went.
Wow.
The funniest part is like at the end, all we had left was like fancy candy, like some Russell Stover stuff. And a little kid was like, "Wow, that's really fancy. You sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead."
If I'd have gotten granola bars on Halloween, I would have given them back and soaped their windows like they deserved.
I love granola bars. So as a kid, though I saw some kid that had $5 in their bag of candy. Somebody was just giving out $5 bills. You know how there's always those urban legends of these houses that are like that were given money. Yeah, they had a 5, or did their parents put a 5 in there, making people think, "Well, I got to give this kid more candy"? Was it a scam?
Yeah, it sounds like you've worked this angle already.
I was actually going to dress up and go out and get some of these $5 bills if it was possible, because I could use it. But
I like your costume.
Yeah, exactly. We had so I took a poll of the kids that showed up. We had 2 kids that were dressed as Purge-like characters. And then there were 3 Chuckies, which that's the winner. 3 girls dressed as Chucky, not together. I had a group of people that were Fred, Wilma, and Daphne. No Scooby or Shaggy, which Scooby and Shaggy are the most interesting people on
I don't know.
Scooby-Doo. So what is going on? They said, oh, well, they're on vacation. I was like, I don't know. You couldn't find someone to be Shaggy of your friend group. We had who else? Oh, 2 Scream ghost faces. And we had one of the ghost faces was about 2 years old, and he would not wear the mask anymore. And his mom said he wanted the mask so bad, now he doesn't want to wear it. So more power to him. And then finally, most importantly, we had 2 Michael Myers. We had a Michael Myers that was very accurate and walked past the house, and Becca was super excited. And then we had a Rob Zombie burned up Michael Myers, like a dirtier Michael
Wow.
Myers. Yeah, with like
That's
the
very that's specific.
it is, yeah. And we had a fat Deadpool. Not to make fun of the kid, but he was very chubby,
Mhm.
and he was a chubby which I would have been a chubby Deadpool too as a kid. So you
I
go.
would have been trick or treating with him when
My
I was that age.
Yeah, my all-time
That
favorite.
sounded creepy.
Yeah, my all-time favorite kid was the kid that had like I thought it was a black Spider-Man costume, and I said to him, I said, "Are you Spider-Man?" He was really little. He was like 5, and he goes, "No, I'm Venom." And I was like, "Oh, I love this kid." So he got a whole
Wow.
bunch of extra candy.
Committed.
He was so excited to talk about it. His costume. A couple of kids said to me, "Do you know what I am?" And I said, "No." They were from some video game, Fall Guys. I said, "No, I'm old now. I don't know what game you're from."
Oh, you went there?
Yeah.
You claimed being old?
No, I do now. I didn't say it to the kids. I did recognize a kid was dressed as there was a kid and his dad dressed as 2 versions of Link. One was from a Link from the past, and one was from Oceanaria time. This dad somehow got laid once to have a kid to go that deep cut on Zelda. But yeah, no Eric Binford, no Santo. Last year we had a couple deeper cut kids, but no, I thought there'd at least be one Jason. You would think, right? Like Jason's such an easy costume. No Jasons, and no Freddy's. But I think kids don't know Freddy anymore. So
That truly saddens me.
it does. Though we got to the 2, there weren't any slasher kids. They were all Scream up until I got 2 Michael Myers in a row, and the one kid had a blue jumpsuit on, and the traditional look, and he would not talk. He had somebody else say trick or treat for him, which he was a method kid. And the other one, was Rob Zombie one. Becky didn't see the Rob Zombie one, but she saw the John Carpenter one, and she was very excited. So that's good.
I really miss trick or treat. That used to be one of my favorite nights of the year when we lived at the old house.
Yeah.
And we actually lived in a place where trick or treaters would come. And, we got like 300 kids average every Halloween. And we were the house. Like we would get dressed up and we'd go outside, and I would dress up like a robot, I would act like a robot.
Oh,
wow. I had like a full head mask, like with a long wig and tarps and stuff over it. So you couldn't even tell I was a person. And then I would move like a robot, and when people would walk by, I'd go, "Rah!" And Mark had that weird mask on. I don't know if you've ever seen him, where the face is really small and it's way down here.
No.
It's creepy.
There was one kid's costume was an alien abduction, where he was like an alien behind him, and his head was coming out of it, so it looked like he was an alien was kidnapping him. And he was so goofed up on sugar, he was just running back and forth across the yard. So I had like a glowing alien running back and forth across my yard. Cubby was displeased, to say the least, at this turn of events. But yeah, I said, we should just do this next year. You guys should come out for Halloween next year, so we get so many kids. And next year we're going to put out some lights and a table and stuff and sit out there the whole time, because I had to meet the kids. Yeah, but it was exciting. I that's what I do. Our old neighborhood, we never got any kids at all. And there was literally such a line of kids that you could just stay outside. Like, you didn't have to like wait for kids to come, which was awesome. They started a little later too. There was a Halloween parade Wednesday too, but I didn't go to it. But I don't know if Monongahela Michael Myers was in it or not. I still haven't seen him yet.
It happened.
It happened, yeah. The night that he came home, Monongahela Michael Myers.
To Monongahela.
To Monongahela, yeah. I mean, it's as good as Haddonfield, right?
I was going to say there's not much difference.
No.
I believe that a murder could happen in Monongahela, just like it happened in Haddonfield.
Yeah, exactly. There weren't any politically incorrect costumes. I saw in there about someone's mom dressed up as Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
There were a couple kids dressed as playing cards, which is normal. There was a lot of ninjas, which I applaud 100%. Ninja's great costume. Also, it's a warm costume, but a lot of kids that just were like just wearing sweatsuits and like backpacks. I'm like, I don't know what your costume is. I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like I bring it. I don't care if you're 16 or 17. Like you can still dress up. At that point, dress up, get a great costume. You know?
We got a lot of annoying people like that weren't
Yeah.
even dressed up but wanted candy.
Yeah. One very cute family. They had a baby about 6 months old who was dressed as Cookie Monster, and the mom and the dad were dressed as Elmo and Big Bird. And the kid was very cute. And then my final kids were two cowboys who were knocked out and sleeping in a wagon. They were both like maybe a year and 3 years old, and their mom was like, "Yeah, they're exhausted." So I gave them a bunch of candy. So yeah, it's good costumes all around. My best. What was your best costume as a kid, Bill?
I really don't remember. You mean as a little kid?
Yeah, or when you dressed up for.
I was always Dracula. I wanted
Always
to be Dracula almost every year. In fact, I can't remember what else I ever dressed up as.
It was Godzilla one year. My dad made a paper mache Godzilla head for me, and and a tail, and it was great.
That's amazing.
Except I have a picture of it at home. My brother was Paunch from Chips, and my brother was very chubby as a kid. And
well, wait a minute. When you say he dressed like him, was it one of those Ben Cooper boxes?
No,
okay.
My mom made him a jumpsuit with the Chips logo on it. And, it helps having an art teacher dad, right, to do this stuff. And he had a little helmet and the gloves and everything. And he looked like a fat Eric Estrada, like a chubby 2-year-old Eric Estrada. And he had just learned to talk, maybe 6 months before. And in the Godzilla costume, this is where my eyes were at. Well, my eyes were where the teeth were of the costume, right?
Yeah.
And when the guy put the candy bar, he put a candy bar in there thinking, I don't know what he was thinking, that I was going to eat it through there.
That was your mouth.
Yeah. And my brother said, if you hurt my brother, I'm going to put my fingers in your eyes and bowl your head down the street like a bowling ball. And we were like, he never talked. And then he said that to this guy. And the guy's like, oh, how cute.
God.
Yeah.
This explains so much about your brother to me.
Yeah, it really does. He had some good costumes. He was He-Man one year. And then for some reason, my mom made me a Papa Smurf costume. And she loved it so much that I had to be Papa Smurf for like 3 years. And I was like, I don't really like being Papa Smurf.
My mom made me a really nice Dracula cape. And she sewed it like it was deluxe. It had a red lining and a stiff collar and everything. And so I wanted to be Dracula every year because I had this really awesome cape. Were
you a universal Dracula or were you a Hammer Dracula, or did that change over time?
I was sort of my own thing. I was more like a Tomb of Dracula to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I liked the Bela Lugosi one, but it was boring to me. And I liked Christopher Lee, so I would have wanted to be Christopher Lee, I guess.
I think, yeah. I watched Return of Dracula this week. Have you ever seen that?
The fake Dracula.
Yeah, I really liked it though. It's like super
good.
It's like there's one part where he tells her that she should take off her crucifix because the only way to eternal life is through him. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. It was really pushing it. And I had a Super 8 reel of that.
Oh, wow.
When I was a kid. It was like 8 minutes of Return of Dracula.
Oh, I
watched it silent.
I love whenever he goes to the girl who's blind. It keeps saying that she knows death is coming for her.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you want to see again, I can make it happen. And then she's fine. She's totally cool with it. She loves that she's one of Dracula's minions now. That movie's like, I was not expecting anything. And I was like, wow, this is so good. I loved it so much.
Yeah. They weren't allowed to use the name Dracula when they sold it overseas.
Ah,
because it's copyrighted over there. So they had to call it something else. It was
oh
something
yeah,
really boring.
yeah. I can't remember.
Man with the X-ray eyes, not that, but it was similar to that.
Yeah, but man, it's way better than it has any right to be. The ending, they splice in like it's black and white, and they splice in like 3 seconds of red blood at the ending, whenever the girl
Yeah.
gets staked. And I was not ready for it. And when it happened, I was like, wow, I like yelled out. It was great. I loved it.
I obviously didn't get that effect. My Super 8 reel had the staking scene, but it was in black and white
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, it's
So,
in color. Yeah, but I was watching it, and Becca, like, I can tell a movie's good when she's like, wow, like this, I really like this. And then she just sat down and watched the whole thing with me. So it was some good times. We never got the Ben Cooper costumes because like the seams in them always felt like they were going to cut you. You know, in the mask too.
Oh, they were torture. The masks were torture.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you remember any of the Ben Cooper ones that you got.
I
can you think of any?
I probably had a Star Wars one. I just never liked them as much as a kid because they said Star Wars on them. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, well, Luke Skywalker's costume doesn't say Star Wars.
Yeah, like the poncho thing I really disagreed with because that was just sort of like you weren't dressed up as a character, you were a walking billboard.
Yeah. I like some of the choices, like the alien one's awesome. And like I
love that.
But I was thinking about it because we went to Ollie's yesterday, which is like if you're not from the area, I think they're in a couple states, but it's like a closeout store. And they had all the costumes from last year. And I always think like what movies failed last year that are still out there. Like you can still find a Speed Racer costume from the Wachowskis, Speed Racer at Ollie's. You know, you can find like some movies so next year, you know, there'll be a lot of like Suicide Squad costumes and stuff. But I know there was a couple G.I. Joe I actually got a French Flint mask from G.I. Joe because they made a lot of characters they never made here. So my brother got it for me this year. And there's a Destro one he's been trying to get, and which never was made in the U.S. But these masks are really cool. So I actually got a special acrylic holder for it, so it doesn't break anymore. Yeah,
they're so fragile. Yeah, vintage masks. I mean, if they're latex and they're all dried up and ruined, and it's so hard to keep stuff like that nice over so many years.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting when you go to the Spirit store now. I don't know if you've gone this year. How many? It's wild because like up until the last couple of years, right? Like Killer Clowns wasn't. It was a cult movie. I always thought. Like Becca always loved it, but you never saw all this merch for Killer Clowns. I mean, half the store is Killer Clowns. They have the ray guns. They actually the coolest thing they had. I debated getting it when it goes half off. Is they had the Mars Attacks ray guns, and they have a light up Martian from it that makes the noise, how they make those noises in it, and they have just tons of cool like blankets and all that. And I was thinking about it. It's like when slasher movies were big, like it was a big deal that you could order the Iron-On shirts in Fangoria. Like we couldn't get like Freight Ragsy kind of shirts and all this merch that exists within. Do you know what I mean? When slashers were big, and now that there isn't even a Friday the 13th coming out, there's so much Friday the 13th merch there.
Oh, what monster could have done that? What monster could have signed that contract?
Oh,
I still want to see a Friday the 13th movie about the year the water went bad. That's an unmined credits of the Friday the 13th franchise, because the truck driver tells Annie that. He's like, they tried to open it again. The water went bad.
Oh, the water.
So what was that about? Like, because Mrs. Voorhees murdered people the first time. Yeah. Then after that, the water went bad. So I want that story, please.
Some good news in the chat. David just got back from Oregon. He wrapped a movie called The Cycle with Jordan Downey. Congratulations.
Oh, right on.
That's awesome.
Thanks to everyone for sharing their Halloween costume memories, too. I can't really read them very well because I need glasses, but I go back and read them later. And the Ben Cooper things especially, like I think of those going in the trash. There were so many of those things that, no one saved that stuff.
It's funny now that
had the foresight.
The toy, we talked about you and I talked about, I think last week, about the toys that are coming out, that they make the action figures of the Ben Cooper costumes. And now there's all this like nostalgia for Ben Cooper costumes, but there was no nostalgia for it when I was a kid. I was like, oh, that's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No.
The eyes hurt.
But
They always dug into your eyes, those fucking masks. And I remember sticking my tongue out of the mouth hole too. And so the inside would get all messed up.
they had mini masks like those at Walmart. 'Cause there's a bloody disgusting section at Walmart now. And they had a Halloween 2 mask, mini mask, and of course, Terrifier mini mask for sale.
So, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That new movie, You Can't Escape. Terrifier.
Hey, you know what though? It's pretty cool that it was #1 last week. I mean, regardless of what you think of it, the fact that there's not another slasher out there for Halloween, so I mean, at least something's out there, right?
Yeah, it's keeping the tradition alive.
Yeah. Wow, this is a Bill double feature that you're showing up here now. Look at this. Oh my god.
You know, this debuted October 25th, 1974. So only a day earlier than we are now.
Oh, wow.
40 years ago. Or 50 years ago. Holy shit.
Wow. Inflation busters. Suddenly we are inflation busters. That's like a Paul Harvey pause there. Five dots. It's like a double ellipse.
Inflation busters. God. They could have seen into the future.
I love that Help Me, I'm Possessed has such punctuation in it. Like it's got like, help me, I'm possessed.
There aren't 2 exclamation points. They must have thought that was going too far.
Yeah.
They were like, we don't want an ad that has 2 exclamation points in it. So we're going to use a periods of ellipses.
I had a creative director once say to me, I think
piece.
He said, I think this headline needs 3 exclamation points. And I said, in what world does that make sense? Like I said, that's like screaming while I'm stabbing you. Like 3 exclamation points.
Oh, I use that all the time.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Tripled. But I mean, in Drive-In Asylum.
Drive-In Asylum, not like an ad for Del Monte.
I wouldn't put it in a professional ad.
Yeah.
Just my hack shit that I do.
This had did you find anything with the other title, not to spoil?
It was only on video.
Okay.
What other title?
Nightmare at Blood Castle. That's the title it was filmed under.
Well, no, I don't think it ever played as that.
I don't think it played as that either. No.
No, now you got me thinking. I didn't look for that. It's happening live on the air. I'm going to end up searching something. Well, yeah. So that was October 25th in Orlando, and look at this.
Oh my god!
They're all like this, Sam. Every single ad.
Death Wheelers. Oh, I think that's a perfect movie, by the way. Like I always think, like, are there perfect movies? Definitely, Psychomania is 100% perfect movie. Why don't more people talk? Why don't I have kids coming to my house dressed as Psychomania? Is the Death Wheelers? How cool would that be if a kid rolled in with the helmet on and everything? I'd be like, you're
the straightest looking motorcycle gang ever.
I would literally just dump all my candy in and turn the light off and go inside the house. I'm like, you want Halloween? You get everything.
They look like teens from a shampoo commercial on motorcycles.
And they're just rolling around doing stunts with each other. Just like, and their stunts are like, oh, look, I can kick one leg behind me.
They had to make sure that they had a scene that showed you how mean they were when they were like almost running over baby carriages and stuff like that. Like, so they were like, because you weren't going to believe it otherwise after getting a look at them.
Yeah, they're not as tough as you want them to be, but it's a perfect movie. We have not done Psychomania, have we?
I feel like we did.
If only I had a list. If only there was a black box that I held.
You always do this. You always go down the rabbit hole.
I know. Sorry. I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I want to know what's on the head of this person in the ad. I guess that's their arm going like this. Okay, I see it now. And there are snakes, or intestines or something. Like that's another question. Well, I guess this is the monster from the film. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
The monster is a car wash. You know, like when you're in the car wash and those things come down over your car. That's the monster. And I still don't really understand what it is, but it's the essence of evil. It's somehow this doctor has all these people imprisoned in his cardboard castle basement, and he's extracting all their evil sins, and he's like, chopping their heads off or turning them into like zombies that are caged up. It's a little Mansion of the Doomed.
It
But
is.
yeah, then all of a sudden there's this spaghetti monster that comes out of nowhere, and you really don't know what it is. I don't think it's
I
clearly
saw a
outlined.
description on a site that was like a psychological horror movie, and as soon as I got to the word a psychological horror movie, I couldn't stop giggling, and I was like, sure, whatever. Like this is it makes it sound like it's elevated horror, like it's a think piece.
Okay, so moving on. Oh wait, I moved backwards.
It's okay. We're inflation
What are you
busters.
doing?
Suddenly.
Okay. So here's something else. Naked Evil. That's a voodoo movie that I don't think I've ever seen.
No, me either.
But this is not a voodoo movie.
No.
Help Me, I'm Possessed.
No.
Is it?
No, it's like I would say it's kind of like if you crossed Mansion of the Doom with Blood-Sucking Freaks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is sometimes. That's why I like it. Like it's just out there.
It's Blood-Sucking Freaks rated G.
Yeah, exactly. It's a G rated. There's no Ralphus taking the teeth out of women.
So there's really no reason for the film to exist. He does do some mean stuff in it. Like you hate the guy in this movie with with that awful wig on. He has a terrible rug. Yeah. But he's just sort of like is so cruel. He can come off as a normal person, and then the next thing you know, he's in the basement like, I'm gonna torture you, and I'm gonna chop your head off with a guillotine. You're like, whoa, dude.
Anyone that just randomly has a guillotine in their house is someone to worry about.
Yeah, it's not acceptable behavior. I'm sorry.
No.
I say live and let live, but when you get into that shit, you're going too far.
It's like if you have the Black Museum in your house and you live above it, that's one thing. Or if you live above the Wax Museum, and like, yes, it's part of the Wax Museum.
You cannot dip people in wax, Sam Panico. It's just not. It's unacceptable.
No, it isn't. I'm excited to see what else this played with.
Oh, sorry. I guess I got distracted.
No, I'm just super excited. And I love that this is PG, by the way.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, there's nothing in this film that would make you think otherwise, I guess.
No.
They've got a woman in a bra and panties that happen to be flesh-colored to make you kind of think that you've seen nudity.
Yeah.
And like the YouTube filter thought there was nudity in it when I posted the trailer. And I had to request a review. I was like, look at it with a human eye and you'll see she's not naked.
She's wearing the early version of Spanx.
They fooled AI.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a PG movie, everybody. That's what you tell them back. I like the head looks really angry in this ad for the Twin Air West.
If you were possessed, you'd be angry too.
Help me.
Well, maybe you are possessed.
Yeah. Oh my God, this double feature, Bill.
This is crazy.
Oh my God.
A movie like Help Me, I'm Possessed, and we're about to subject you to it, but
yeah,
it does not compare in budget to something like Dr. Phibes Rises Again. In fact, it's like the money they made off of the catering they didn't use in Dr. Phibes, they made Help Me, I'm Possessed.
Vincent Price was like, why are the donuts not as good today? Well, we gave some of it to make another movie. Help Me, I'm Possessed.
It's still going the wrong way.
That's okay.
It's going to happen all night. I'm telling
it's
you.
all right.
I guess here's like Exorcism today's style.
Okay. I don't want the old style exorcism anymore. Right?
Yeah.
It's now. It's today. What's the spirit of now?
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, like the old exorcism. That's bullshit. Like now we've seen Linda Blair and her head went around backwards and she puked, and oh my God, that's exorcism.
Yeah.
And there's none of that in this movie.
No. There's no masturbating with crucifixes. As much as you want it to be, you're not getting it. It's PG. I have a question. When the forces of evil infuse your body, will you scream out? or will you just take
Ooh.
it? Will you just take it?
It's kind of like a cocktail recipe.
It is.
The forces of evil will infuse your body,
Yeah.
and you'll scream out.
This is an
For
elevated
drinking.
cocktail. It's. I've been infusing it with evil for several weeks.
Your cocktail for this movie is really awesome, and I was gonna make it, and then I realized that I was like, oh, I have all the ingredients. Oh, wait a minute, I have vanilla vodka.
Uh,
And I was like, that seems like it's at odds with everything in that drink. So
I agree with Tracy. This is the Vatican II exorcism, like post
Vatican
1967. You know, like now
Yeah.
you can shake hands with people and you don't have to go up to the prayer rail. You know, this is like your
I had
priest.
never thought of it that way.
Yeah, this is your priest. The priest is your friend exorcism, where he's like, they didn't even talk about exorcism
Yeah.
before the exorcist. They're like, no. And afterwards, they're like, oh yeah, let's talk about exorcism. I completely agree. That's a great thought.
Well, this is just sort of like another variation of the same ad. See it from
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah. If you came late last week, I just want a shirt that says, like a Frankie Goes to Hollywood style shirt, Bill, that says Exorcism Today's style. And no one will have it'll be such a deep cut that only you and I and the people in the chat room will get it.
Ask me about exorcism today.
Today's style. I like Dustin's idea of a Help Me I'm Possessed Med Alert bracelet commercial where she falls and she's like, help me, I'm possessed.
Right away. And then that music that sounds like Jurassic Park plays, and you
Oh.
see a fire truck going to their house, and they have to stop on the way and pick up a priest.
Yeah.
Because this one's possessed.
Yeah. There's like they have like every town now has a 911 in today's exorcism style. Every priest is ready to go. There's a special number that you call 777 and the priest will come with them.
Chilling horror.
Oh, but wow.
I don't know if I'd call this movie chilling.
Mm-mm.
It is really creepy in one way. It's not as a literal horror film, but just it's creepy that this movie exists.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to watch this tonight, because this is one of those movies where I always ask myself, I'm like, why? This was sort of like, I don't know. The director made Voodoo Heartbeat.
Yeah.
Which is the sex serum of Dr. So-and-so. And
he also made The Ravager, which is an adult movie that has a Vietnam vet blowing women up. That same guy who played the Ravager is the Hunchback in this movie.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know if you knew, but Bill Greer, who also plays the doctor and who wrote this, do you know what his other claim to fame is?
Who?
Bill Greer, who was the writer, and he plays Dr. Blackwood in this.
You're gonna have to tell me.
He created Charles in Charge.
Oh wow, no, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, he produced Charles in Charge and did and the TV show House Calls, which was on in 1980, and Goodnight Beantown.
Oh, I remember House Calls. That was like one of those one season shows.
Yeah. And that was like his big thing. He also composed the theme song for House Calls, Enjoy the Ride. And I assume that he was married to the other writer who's also in this, Dee Dee Peters, because they had like a singing routine as Dee Dee and Bill. But she also was in 17 episodes of House Calls, and she plays his wife in this movie too, Diane Blackwood. So it's a kind of little family affair, right?
I think you have to look out for family first.
Yeah, that's what I think.
A terrifying spectacular. That's a claim that can't be backed up.
No,
I'm going to admit that straight out of the gate.
If you're, I agree with Chris. If it looks like 70s porn with no penetration. Yeah,
that's totally accurate.
Yeah, you're waiting. It feels like one of those something weird satanic smut movies, and you're like, when? Never. But also, if you're one of the people that watches the show and be like, why did Sam and Bill show this, and you get angry, you might get really angry in a bit.
Yeah. Go easy. It's Halloween week.
We love this movie. That's the thing. These are the movies that Bill and I really love because we think about a lot in our
Yeah.
lives. Why would anybody make this? And then you might say, why would anybody watch it? Because somebody made it. And it's like, I
Yeah.
love the idea of movies like this that played drive-ins and people were confronted by this movie. They saw this ad and like a terrifying, spectacular, cool. They roll up and they're given this movie.
Well,
And they're like,
these movies were not easy to make. At least movies that
Yeah.
didn't look like a home movie, which this doesn't look like a home movie. It has some level of
no.
professionalism, but it's more like an elaborately filmed stage play or something.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's amazing that a movie like this could be committed to film and actually distributed in at least some theaters.
It had to be shot, developed, like someone had to do a film transfer. They had to make there was, one would assume, more than one print of this movie that was out there. Like, yeah, this is
it wasn't so easy.
Yeah,
it
like
wasn't like it is today.
Shoot it on your iPhone today and
upload it. Boom,
upload
there
it
is.
And it's up on Tubi. Yeah, this people did work for this.
I mean, I'm not saying that that's bad to make your own movie and upload it. It's just, now it's a lot easier for other people to see it than it was at the time that this came out. And just the idea that somebody made this and tried to make money off of it in theaters is really, to me, that's fascinating. I'd rather watch movies like this.
It's got a great tagline. I think we can all admit that. I mean, the name of the movie, like "Help Me, I'm Possessed," is a great name for a movie. Like you have to see it, right? You're like, yes,
you do.
Yeah,
and hopefully tonight you will. Don't blow our movie off.
No, don't. Ooh.
Island of Lost Girls.
What a night!
She's a lost girl now.
Like Angel.
She went to that island, the Island of Lost Girls.
This is the description. By the way, if you don't have this, this is the AGFA release of this, the Bloodorama triple Frightmare set. This is a great description of this movie. Ready? A freeform nightmare that takes place in a sanitarium in the desert. The surrealist gem includes a psychopathic hunchback, delirious monsters, and a killer early synthesizer score. That's a pretty good way of describing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The music is amazing in this, I have to say.
This also has Night of the Strangler and Carnival of Blood on it. This is a Bill set. You have this, I assume, right? This set.
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, that's a total Bill triple feature there. Oh, my God. Look at this.
Obviously from 1980. We also have Possession at the Starlight Drive-In, which is, that was too early to be the Possession that everybody loves.
It's a year off. Yeah.
Wait, Warriors of the Wasteland, wasn't that 83?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is 81 because House of Crazies, I think, came out again in 81.
Let me look up. I think Warriors of the Wasteland's 81.
But anyway, Possession.
83 is Warriors of the Wasteland. Yeah.
Okay, so this
AKA New Barbarians. Yeah, it could have been.
Possession and Don't Go in the House.
Do you think people came to Warriors of the Wasteland hoping it was a Frankie Goes to Hollywood movie?
I would have. I thought it was them on tour.
Yeah. Oh. How old was Witchmaker playing with Help Me, I'm Possessed at this point? Well, how old was Help Me, I'm Possessed? Those movies were both.
How old was House of Crazies, which is really Asylum from 1972?
These are like 3 12-year-old movies playing together.
In the 80s.
Can you imagine if it is Possession, if it is the Possession we all know and love, and Don't Go in the House together? What a night.
I know.
Right?
You're going to be bummed out.
Oh, my God. What a night. I can't imagine if you brought a date, you're like, oh, this is an Exorcist movie, and it's called Possession. And then she's throwing up milk in the subway. And you're like, this movie upsets me.
I wanted to cry at the end of that movie. It was so devastating to me. It was just, and not in a Kramer versus Kramer kind of way either. It was just like emotionally draining.
It is like a hard movie to watch. Though I was wearing my Possession shirt the other night when I was out. And I was at Sheetz, and the lady behind the counter just looked at me, and she was just looked at me, looked at my shirt, and she just shook her head. And I'm like, you don't appreciate 1980s Polish horror. And it's like, I don't like people wearing boobs on their shirt. And I said, oh, okay.
Chris pointed out that this is a tentacle horror movie. Well,
Yes.
Possession is, and so is Help Me Unpossessed. We've
Yeah.
got a link.
They should have played them together, like double possession night.
This is all about tentacles.
Oh.
Yeah, Help Me Unpossessed, Possession. Neither one of them really about possession the way the audience is going to expect.
What if it was Help Me Unpossessed, Possession, and Tentacles all playing together?
But Possession was also released in the States as The Night the Screaming Stopped,
Oh, wow.
which was a radically re-edited version of the movie. I really don't know what that edit is like and what they did to change it, but it was just like a completely butchered version of the original film because they tried to really push the horror elements in it, I guess, and cut all the other stuff out. So
what's crazy is Road of Death that's playing with Where's the Wasteland. It's from 1973. It's a biker movie. That's wild.
There's a famous person in that movie. Is it Connie Mason who made Blood Feast?
Carol Connors.
Carol Connors. Okay.
Yeah. And Joe Banana.
Carol Connors did porn.
Yeah. Renee. Yeah, she did She was in Deep Throat and Erotic Adventures of Candy.
But that's not a porn film. Road of Death.
No, but
it's a crossover moment.
Yeah, I think I'm looking up Renee Martinez who did it. Oh yeah, he did the guy from Harlem. He also did Super Soul Brother. I'm not going to say the other title of that movie. And yeah.
Please don't.
Oh, Road to Death, I totally know because it has that crazy like hand drawn poster where the skull looks like a 14-year-old drew it or a 12-year-old. It's like very man. Yeah, you see, the poster even says you've seen her in Deep Throat. Now see her in Road of Death.
Road of Death. It's going to be Deep Throat 2.
Yeah. He also did The Sexiest Story Ever Told, which I do believe is adult. I mean,
I think that was the only non-porn film that Carol Connors made.
Oh wow, Bill, this is okay. So this is 100% you at the movies this night.
I'm fainting in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This is a total night at the movies where hardly anything really happens.
No.
Oh, who's calling me? Scam likely. No shit.
Don't they know any better?
So
this is a night that people were like, we went to this feels like something that people would talk about Monday back at school that they saw at the drive-in and just be like, I don't really know. None of these movies delivered what they promised, but I kind of liked them. One had a caveman that you could look into his eyes and see dinosaurs.
I take that back. Yeah, a lot happens in Horror Express.
Yeah, almost too much
happens. Everything happens.
Like you're like, yeah, the first 2 movies nothing happens, and by the 3rd movie, like I hope some stuff happens, and it just goes nuts.
And it did, yeah.
Everything happened, and
you were rewarded.
Yeah, I love Horror Express. No notes on Horror Express. It's wonderful. It's great.
You mean The Possessor?
I like it as The Possessor. Yes.
Speaking of movies that aren't really about possession.
Yes. Oh man, you could have had Possessor and Possession playing together. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, a cheerleader triple feature. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just goodness everywhere you look. There's no bad place to put your eyes in this ad.
Okay. Let's just go through one at a time on these because there's just too much. So, Shockwaves and Help Me Unpossessed. We've already discussed the awesomeness of this. Yes. Kentucky Fried Movie and Flesh Gordon is an idea whose time has come. Right?
It totally was a Black Christmas moment, man.
Telethon and Gator is.
I know.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Just what? That's
Machismo night.
Oh, but if you really like Bronson, you could see the Gauntlet and Death Wish 2 screens over. So I would probably do Telethon and then run over with my lawn chair to watch Death Wish. Saturday Night Fever and Drive-In. Yeah, okay.
Whatever. Yeah. But that had the nice shiny logo.
It does.
Look at that logo. That's important. That's an important film.
I love that logo. You Light Up My Life and Obsession. What? I don't know what Obsession is.
That's the Brian De Palma film.
Oh, wow.
You Light Up My Life and Obsession.
Oh. And then
Perfect combination.
and A Bridge Too Far and The Spy Who Loved Me. 99 cents for that one. I like The Spy Who Loved Me a lot.
Yeah, I dig that.
Then we got, well, it seems like the Sunrise Boulevard, the Thunderbird is going to bring some scuzzier stuff, right? Because they got Mr. Mean with Chinese Mac. Love it. And Disco 9000 with Black Dragon. I can't read the rest of it, but wow. I love
what are you
this.
talking about, Bill's voice? Hi.
So yeah, there's some amazing stuff playing at these. What would you pick, Bill? What do you? Where are you going this night?
Well, knowing what I know now, I would go to Shockwaves and Help Me Unpossessed.
Yeah.
But, you can't really go wrong here.
No, I think I'm a cheerleaders night. Satan's Cheerleaders, Revenge of the Cheerleaders, also cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders.
Just cheerleaders. These ones are just cheerleaders. But Kentucky Fried Movie and Flesh Gordon feels like the pick.
Okay,
Right?
that's fair.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh.
Horrific.
Hey, I have a polite warning for you. This house is not a home. Just a polite warning. Yeah.
Thank you for that warning.
Do you like that hand-drawn plus?
Oh, yeah. I've clipped and used that on other things
have you?
too,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Now I definitely get that this is Asylum because they put that weird robot in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crucial moment. It's the climax of the whole thing. Well, one of them.
Oh.
That movie has several climaxes.
Yeah, several. Start Dusk.
That's a good night.
Yeah, that's a great night.
I mean, several climaxes. Well, this is the second movie. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Tease me with that one. Wow. That's a diaphanous white nightgown double feature coming up in the in the second. Oh, wow.
I dare you to dress in a diaphanous white nightgown.
I don't think Becca has one. If she had one, I would 100%.
I don't know anyone that has a nightgown like that.
I do put on my eye makeup and do my nails too, just as I've been taught. And come on down. But
maybe you can do my nails sometime, darling.
Yeah, exactly.
On second thought.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I'm getting a little old for that hoary diaphanous nightgown look.
Oh, that's my description of any Italian Gothic movie. It's like a woman clutches a candelabra, stuck in a house that she doesn't belong in, wearing a nightgown. And that's how you know you're in Italian.
Ooh, that's good. The part about that she doesn't belong there, because that's always essential to the plot. You're right.
I love whenever this will happen. Just a teaser of our next movie. There's no reason for them to be in that fucking house. They're like it's locked. They have to climb into it, right? And all this shit. And it's like, you know what? If someone has their door shut and they live in a castle, don't come in. And then they come in and they're like, oh, but like, and he's like, I want you all to leave. And they're like, but then whatever, we'll get to it. But I just love that, like, everybody's like wandering the castle.
And find out.
They do, because they learn. They do, because he says you can stay for one night and just don't go in the dungeon. The first fucking thing they do is go to the dungeon. What is wrong with it? They all deserve to die. Oh, yes, Camille Keaton did make one of those tiny nightgown movies, Mike, and I'm proud to say the first thing I did when I put the basement back together is I got my Camille Keaton in Italy box set and I hugged it with all my. I was like, "Oh, you're back." I was like so happy that I have it back.
Look, there's two Sams.
Wait, let me get my face in the same pose. Okay.
Creepy.
By
the way, congratulations on that background tonight. That's your basement, your fixed up basement. That's amazing.
We are in the basement. I do have a candelabra down here too. I have a skull one down here, but I need a better one. Yeah, I can do a quick flip so you can see the basement. Look. Oh.
Well, you said Becca didn't want.
Well, we're not going to do the back wall. The back wall is what she's working on. But there's all the movies. There's even more on the corners too. So, yeah, the basement is coming together.
Congratulations.
And there's the new ceiling. It's all white.
I love your new ceiling.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
You should always get rid of the drop ceiling if you absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I knocked down. Also, if you're going to do a drop ceiling, try to pull it down on your head. It really feels like you're in the end of a Hammer movie, like except nothing's on fire. But like it's like, oh no, the house of Usher. Like that's totally how it felt. Or a Corman movie. I mean, either or.
All right, we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, the drink segment, and you can see Sam getting ready for it right there.
There I am.
I'm Count Scary, and I bought 3D glasses for 39 cents from a participating Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers restaurant. Hand me my glasses. Not these glasses, Igor. Hand me the scary ones. And oh, they go so good with my tan.
Count Scary's 3D Party, Tuesday, July 6th at 8 p.m. only on Channel 4.
No one believed Charlie's neighbor was a vampire.
Stop me, Charlie! He bit me!
Until it was too late. Now, Charlie has to find a way to stop him.
Peter Vincent, ready to do battle with the undead.
Beware of the evil that awaits you on Fright Night. Friday night at 8 on Q13.
Hi there, I'm Dumpy the Pumpkin. Carvel's Halloween ice cream cake. I weigh 44 ounces and serve 10 to 12 people.
Having a Halloween party? I'm Wiki the Witch, and I weigh 45 ounces. We're both made fresh daily at your participating Carvel ice cream store.
You want to send one to a friend? Please phone 800-327-GIFT and call the Cake Honors most major credit cards. Thank you.
Welcome to the world of terror. When I'm not busy embalming bodies, which isn't often, I like to relax with some good family reading. Let me introduce you to my personal library of Fangoria, the leader in horror entertainment. What a fascinatingly hideous cover of Freddy Krueger. And devilishly candid reviews of the latest horror videos, and gloriously bloody color photos from the newest Friday the 13th. They're all here in Fangoria. Can I persuade you to subscribe?
This is Fango editor Tony Tupone asking you to enter the world of Fangoria. Only $12.49 for a special 6-month video subscription. Send check or money order to Fangoria Magazine, 475 Park Avenue South, New York, 10016.
Let the dead bodies wait.
Welcome to the drink for Help Me, I'm Possessed. This movie's got a spaghetti monster in it, so therefore the drink should be the spaghetti monster. I found a bar in a Shroud's Bar in Leeds, England that has a drink called the Spaghetti Monster. This seems perfect. There's a lot of booze in it. You're gonna need a lot of booze for this movie. It'll make a lot more sense after you drink this. We're gonna go with an ounce of vodka, an ounce of gin, an ounce of rum, of your choice, but I prefer Kraken, an ounce of tequila. Look at the size of the bottle, too. It's like wildly different. 4 ounces OJ, half an ounce of grenadine, which we're just gonna pour at the top. Here's how you do it. You're gonna put everything except the grenadine in a shaker, and you're not gonna make a mess. You're gonna be super clean because your wife just cleaned the whole house, including all the grease that you sprayed while she was gone, while you were making pork. Shake that up. Kind of like a tequila sunrise with more booze. All right. And this is not a green drink, believe it or not. Unlike normal, it's like it's like we're at Orange Julius or something. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna just put a little tiny bit of grenadine just floated on top. And see, as you can see, it just infuses the drink. You can do that with a spoon too if you'd like to ladle it on. Pazuzu, Help Me, I'm Possessed. A movie in the desert where people get locked up in a basement and there's torture, and I don't know what's going on in this movie, but I love it. Hope you do too. Pazuzu, this drink is awesome. You don't realize there are 4 shots of booze in this drink. Thanks to the orange juice and the grenadine, it will guide you through the night that is this film.
Pazuzu.
I mixed this up earlier, and now I'm drinking the drink from the show, and it is like an orange Julius with booze in it.
Yeah, I was really jealous when I saw it, and I mean, I'm jealous now that I couldn't make it because I got vanilla vodka, but I have my vanilla vodka and vanilla Coke.
Ooh, that's a nice mix.
It sure is.
Have you had the Oreo Coke yet?
No.
Yeah.
I would never try the Oreo Coke.
No,
I don't know. I just can't go there.
Yeah. Gene tried it. I saw that Gene had a review of it on Facebook, and he said it wasn't bad. So,
really?
Yeah. So it's a rave review. So
4 stars.
4 stars all the way. I'm excited about watching this movie again because, as always with this movie, I have so many questions.
This raises many. I told you it's a think piece.
It really is. It's going to get remade by Blumhouse as an elevated horror.
Hereditary 2.
Hereditary 2, yeah. It's going to ask questions of what is the nature of evil, and
it's going to take place at a cardboard castle in the desert,
mm-hmm.
and this castle in the desert has a basement, and that's where all these people. Or I don't think you don't have a desert in the basement, or basement in the desert, do you?
No.
Do you? I don't know.
I don't know. We should ask Joe Rude. He would probably be the guy to ask because he was close. Like Albuquerque's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my questions I have, Bill, is I was on a podcast last weekend. They were talking about the worst. It's a bad movie podcast. They were talking about the worst movies they've seen. And they're talking about how bad Manos: The Hands of Fate was. And I gave an impassioned defense of Manos and how much I love it. And they're like, "You really like it?" Like non-ironically. And I'm like, "Yeah." Like it's a weird movie if you really think about it. And this movie has a lot of Manos feel to it too, but it's like a daylight Manos. What I love about Manos is like, especially the pre-cleaned up one is like, where is this world that exists in the middle of blackness all around it? And like, what is going on of just women wearing like not sexy outfits dancing?
Not sexy.
You know what I mean? Like
thing.
Another movie that's like that, Bill, is House of Black Death, where it's a movie just basically of John Carradine laying in bed and Lon Chaney Jr. being a warlock with horns and a lot of women just belly dancing. I really don't know what's happening in it, but like I love that. Like the movies like that, like this movie fascinates me, and I think anybody else who would watch it, it's really easy to like make fun of a movie like this or to like crap on it a bit, but it's more work to watch it and be like, how did this get made? Like, what was it like, the process of it? And obviously, we wouldn't have Charles in charge of our days and our nights without, Bill Greer. So how weird is that?
We also wouldn't have Voodoo Heartbeat without Charles Nizzet.
We wouldn't.
The director of this film.
Yeah, I love that he did that too. Man, the world was a better place in the early 70s, Bill. That's what I think.
It was a porn film before it was Voodoo Heartbeat. It was called The Sex Serum of Dr. and I forget the doctor's name.
But that's a great title. Like, doesn't that make you want to? I want to see that more than anything else.
I'm way more than Voodoo Heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this movie's about a voodoo heartbeat. Yeah, I'll get around to it. This movie's about a sex serum. Oh,
it was lost until Vinegar Syndrome put it out on Blu-ray last year. I think
yeah, when they put out that big set of Lost Hollywood or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. The other big news this week, Bill, is that they announced the dates for the drive-in next year in April. How exciting is that?
Yes, and there was an intriguing Freddy 4 picture in it. So
I know.
It looks like they're going to do Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Speaking of people not knowing Freddy.
I think it's sad that people do. Isn't that? I don't know. Like, it seemed to me like Freddy Krueger when I was young was an obsequious Halloween costume. And where did he like?
Yeah.
Like he had his own TV show. Come on.
Right.
Freddy.
Yeah. That's why I just wasn't into the Nightmare series because it was just he was so overexposed.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I didn't like that they kept showing him more and more in every movie. Because in the first one, it was scary because the stuff that they showed of him was kind of fleeting.
Yeah.
And you dreaded every time he was coming on screen. And then by like the second or even the third one, he was the new Freddy that cracked jokes and
he was your pal.
Funny.
Yeah. Where people like wanted to see him kill people versus being upset when he killed people.
Yeah, so whatever. I don't know. They're just not for me, but they're not terrible, I guess.
Yeah.
I like Nightmare 2.
Yeah. I actually like him up till 5. I like 5 a lot. So there's some
You
cool
like 3 best, don't you?
That's the first one I saw, actually. I saw because 3 is an X-Men movie. Like it's like the same thing. Like all these kids come together at a gift school and they all have powers. Like it's very X-Men.
Plus it's a metal movie.
It's super metal. Yeah, Dawkins. Come on. Rocking with Dawkins. Speaking of Joe Rude gave me when he came to the drive-in a Dawkins shirt that was it was like a baby-sized Dawkins shirt that he had ordered from eBay, and like the logo from Back from the Attack was like that big on the shirt, and I was like, thank you. Like I have it like somewhere in here forever. It's like one of my favorite things. Yeah. I've been putting up different stuff, Bill, and I went through and I put up I have a section here. It's you can't see it on camera, but where all the Drive-In Asylum issues are stored.
Ooh.
Yeah. And all the haunts are stored too. Speaking of, you still got issues of haunt to sell, right?
Yeah, there are still a few left, but literally only maybe like 5, maybe less than 5. And there's a couple of the sets. There's a set of 10 that you can buy and you get the new issue free. I can't guarantee that it'll get there before Halloween, but it probably will. I didn't pimp it out on the show this week. Like I had my little pitch bulletin board down there, but I don't know, because I figured everybody that wants one would have got one already. But surprisingly, more and more every day, there's a couple of people that come in and pick it up. So they are going fast.
I just got mine, and thank you. And I've loved looking through it. I was thinking about it last night. I don't have, when you're a kid, you have the Christmas feeling when Christmas is over and the letdown.
Yeah.
I don't have that feeling anymore for Christmas, but I definitely have it for Halloween because I was thinking about it is like, this is like, at least I'm sure you probably feel the same way. This is kind of like my Christmas now when Halloween happens. And like the fact that it'll be over next week, it's kind of sad.
I know. This is too close to Halloween. I start to get depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was still hanging Halloween decorations today, and I was like, oh, this is only going to be up for a couple of days, but Haunt can stay with you all year.
Yeah,
just pages and pages of Halloween nostalgia, cartoons, a glimpse into the Halloweens of yesteryear via the newspaper, and any other kind of fun stuff I managed to dig up. And there's original art by Mark Hangoid. There's some Mark Hangoid characters adorning these pages.
Oh, wow.
So you have a lot of stuff in there. I love this skull and candle thing that he did.
Oh, wow. I love that.
I want a t-shirt of just that.
I was just thinking exactly that. That'd be a great shirt.
Yeah, I'll pick it up in the Groovy Doom Etsy shop before it's all gone, because I'm sure not reprinting any more this year now.
Yeah. I get scared when I was putting my Drive-In Asylum issues together. I couldn't find number 25 anywhere. And I finally found it. It was upstairs. Because I was really worried. Though I am missing 2 issues or 3 issues of Haunt. So I'm gonna have to get those.
Well, check in with me.
I will. But I was looking through them the other day, and I think that's if you are somebody that gets upset about Halloween being over, when it's over, like you said, Haunt can stay with you for the whole year. And you can say, oh, this is the feeling of getting ready for Halloween. You don't get like circulars and stuff. Like when I was a kid, getting a Halloween-based circular where they put pumpkins in the ad, like the grocery store ads, like it's the best feel. Isn't it great? It was a great feeling.
It meant that fun was right around the corner.
Oh, it's the best. And then you were like, oh, like I was thinking about it this week watching videos on YouTube. You'd get special episodes of shows where there'd be a Halloween episode of Different Strokes, or, your normal shows Chips always had a Halloween episode. They're the one with Moloch in it. The Donnie Most is a black metal singer like King Diamond. People
Moloch.
are Moloch. Yeah, devil take me, devil take me.
Cleverly named.
Yeah, exactly. And I love when there'd be a special Halloween episode of things, and they'd get spooky for one episode of shows that you didn't expect to, and it just doesn't feel the same. But we're trying to do it right, so let's celebrate Halloween tonight and enjoy this spooky spaghetti monster psychological terror.
Let's get to the movie.
Mhm.
So, because we got 2 more segments to do tonight. You're not rid of us yet. Well,
And if you think I was
back.
amped up this segment, holy shit! Wait until you hear me talk about Bloody Pit of Terror.
Bloody Pit of Horror.
Or I mean, yeah, I love that movie. I don't know if it's literally it's my favorite. It's like up there in my top 10 now. I love it.
David Gregory, it's going to be on YouTube, the entire movie, and it's the fixed up version, so it's going to look nice, maybe a little too nice. It's going to reveal the edges of that cardboard set that they have, and it's utterly charming, I'm sure. The link is on Groovy Doom. It's one of the last posts on the Facebook page. So, or you can just go to YouTube and enter Help Me Unpossessed 1974 and come back afterwards. We're going to have a lot more to talk about. For you saw it.